Welcome and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I'm your host, Kristen Kaczynski. This show will take you on a journey of expansion, encouraging you to release the limitations of your mind and lean into the wisdom of your soul. Remembering who you are on a soul level will help you release your conditioning, expectations, limiting beliefs, fears, and worries, and evoke a life expanded by your energetic alignment. Whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your income and impact, or someone who knows in your heart of hearts that you're made for more, this podcast will help you awaken the power that's already inside of you, allowing you to attract an easy flow of money, clients, opportunities, and fulfillment. In each episode, you'll learn something new, expand your consciousness, and you'll walk away with a glimpse of what's truly possible for you. If you're ready to follow your soul's calling and live a more expansive life, you're in the right place. Welcome, and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I used to hate gratitude. I used to hate the advice that every money mindset and manifestation guru on planet Earth would say, which is be grateful for what you have, and that's how you create more. And part of the reason that I hated the concept of gratitude for myself was because I was still coming from this wounded energy of not enoughness. And my perspective on gratitude obviously has changed, but for those of you who get annoyed as fuck about gratitude conversations, maybe this episode will help you see why it actually works. I know for me, it took me a long time to come around to this whole gratitude nonsense. I can't be the only one, right? But anyway, this is the last episode in the Love and Money series, just to kind of like introduce us into this episode. We're talking about appreciating your money to expand it. And the reason why I wanted to start with this concept of me not being on board with gratitude initially was because I know this is the most annoying lesson that I'm going to share as part of this series. And there's going to be so many of you that are going to be like, fuck you, Kristen. I don't want to appreciate my money because it doesn't look how I want it to look. And I've been there. And I fully acknowledge your frustration. I fully acknowledge the annoyingness of this concept. I fully acknowledge that it's really hard to appreciate what you have when you're so far away from what you want. And it's also really annoying to be told that you should appreciate what you have when you're so far away from what you want and when it's coming from someone who has so much more than you. And I don't know if I have more than you or if you have more than me or whatever. Like that's not the thing that I'm saying here, but it's just, it's something we consistently feel, right? Like, well, you don't understand where I'm coming from because look at where you are versus where I'm at. And I used to have this mindset of mentors or not really mentors, but like people on the internet where they would say certain things that were very expansive. I look back on them now and I'm like, wow, that was a really expansive, useful lesson that they were trying to teach me through their free content. But I wasn't able to receive it because I didn't believe that they could understand where I was at. And so my invitation to you is to suspend that limiting belief for a moment, suspend that idea that maybe I don't understand exactly where you're at, and open up to the concept, open up to the possibility that if you try this, it might actually work for you. And whether or not I understand exactly what you're going through, if it works, it works, right? If it works, it fucking works. And that's all that fucking matters. So appreciating your money to expand it. Why does this even fucking work? So from an energetic perspective, what I've come to understand about appreciating your money to grow it is that this concept or this rule in the universe of like attracts like. No matter what our money situation is, and y'all, Ralph has student loans out the wazoo. So like I might actually be in a worse financial situation than you if you account for his student loans. But I feel really positive about my situation with money because of, all of the inner work I've done. So it's very possible that I have less money than you just based on Ralph's student loans. But in any case, when we look at our money situation, no matter how bad it is, and like if we include those student loans, like it does not look sexy. It does not look like where I want to be over the long term, but I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with it, right? And I know my money is growing despite that. But if we look at our money and we have this energy of like, I'm not where I want to be yet. There's nothing here. I want more. This is not, I'm tired of it. My bank account looking this way. I'm tired of my credit cards looking this way. I'm tired of my student loans looking this way. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. And I just don't feel appreciated by money. And I'm so pissed off at money. If we come from this energy, then we create more negative energy around our money. And it's this concept of like attracts like, right? So the only way to expand something, the only way to get more of something is to appreciate it, is to love it. Otherwise, we get more of what we don't want. So I'm going to use a relationship example again because this is the Love and Money series. And so let's say my husband is really messy. And this is a funny example because he's way cleaner than I am. So this is not accurate. This is not a commentary on Ralph at all, but this is just an example. Let's say Ralph is really messy. And all week long, I just nag and nag and nag. And I give him all of this negative energy about how messy he is. And I, get pissed off at him every time he leaves his shoes somewhere. And I'm just so angry all the time. And I'm pissed off. And I just nag and nag and nag. How do you think he's going to feel about cleaning up? He's going to feel like, I really don't want to do that because I'm being treated like shit, right? Like I don't feel good. I have no desire to clean up because you've made me feel so bad about myself and you've made me feel so unappreciated. As a listener of the Soul Expansion podcast, you know how impactful our unconscious or subconscious thoughts can be, especially when it comes to attracting, receiving, keeping, having, and holding money. And one of the best ways to start to reprogram your unconscious mind is through the power of clinical hypnotherapy. And as a special treat to podcast listeners, I have a free money mindset hypnosis just for you, which is going to allow you to let go of beliefs that are currently holding you back when it comes to attracting money. Hypnosis, by the way, is not mind control. It's not voodoo, scary magic. It's really just allowing you to go into a light trance where you're super relaxed and your unconscious mind is open to receive suggestions. So you can rest assured when you listen to the Money Mindset Hypnosis, you are safe, you are protected, you are loved, and your subconscious mind is so powerful that if there is a suggestion that for some reason doesn't align with your values, it'll automatically reject it. So you're not being controlled by the mind. You're only allowing yourself to receive new beliefs at the subconscious level that are supportive for your money goals. So if you want to get your hands on the Money Mindset Hypnosis, go to mymoneyhypnosis.com. Again, it's completely free. You just enter your email address and you get an instant download, and you can start reprogramming your unconscious mind for all the monies starting today. So again, it's mymoneyhypnosis.com, and I hope you love it. So what if instead I approach this as like, maybe I clean up things, and maybe I ask him to help out while I'm cleaning up as well, but I don't like put it all on him. And then when he agrees to do so, at the end, I say, you know what? That was so helpful for me. I really appreciate that you supported me with this. It makes me love you so much more. Oh, I just love it. And I'm actually getting turned on as I think about it. And it's so good when you clean up your shoes. It's so good when you do the dishes. Oh, that makes me so hot. And I'm getting a little silly with it to illustrate a point. But how do you think my husband will respond if that is how I approach getting him to clean more often? If I am turned on and like hot for him every time he cleans, then of course he's going to clean more often, right? But if I'm like nagging him and just like pissed off all the time, then there's no incentive to clean up other than to get me to shut up. And then he's like resentful, right? And that's the paradigm so many of us have with our money. And that's why gratitude is important. That's why appreciating your money, even when it looks disgusting, right? Like even when you're like so disgusted with your money situation, or you're scared, or you don't feel safe, looking at your money and appreciating what you do have is the path to expanding it. Because money doesn't want to show up for you if you're pissed off at it. Money doesn't want to be there for you and be that loyal partner if you're constantly, nagging it, or if you feel this energy of like believing that money never shows up for you and like being pissed off and resentful for that. If money was your husband, money doesn't want to show up for you when you're resentful. Money doesn't want to be there for you when you're nagging it. Money doesn't want to be there for you when you're pissed off all the time. Money wants to be there for you when you're turned on. Money wants to be there for you when you're loving and appreciative. Money wants to show up and surprise and delight and worship you when money feels good in your presence. And that's really what it is. Appreciating your money and feeling gratitude for your money is making money feel good in your presence, which then makes money want to keep showing up again and again in bigger and bigger amounts for you. So I hope this illustrated the point of why gratitude is not a bunch of bullshit when it comes to growing your money, even though I used to believe that. I hated the idea of gratitude so much, especially when I first started my business and money was really scarce, or it felt really scarce. And yeah, so I get it. I get it. And it's worth your time and it's worth your energy to start to shift that energy with your money. I promise it is. I promise it is. I promise it is. And with that, I am going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast, and I'm going to appreciate my own money a little bit. So I'm going to walk the walk and talk the talk all at the same time. But I hope you love this Love and Money series. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so glad you're listening to this podcast. I love it when you share it with a friend. I love it when you DM me on Instagram and tell me how much you like it. I love it when, I don't know, I just love to know that something I'm sharing with you is helpful for you. So please, please, please subscribe, rate and review, share with a friend. Let me know your feedback. I love it so much. And, I wish I had some of these lessons on my own journey earlier on in business. So if it is helping you in your business, then I'm just so grateful that I can be that guide for you. And I'm so grateful you're here. So I love you. I appreciate you. Just like I appreciate my money, I really appreciate you, my listener. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.
Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion Podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart in appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.